What up, Fan Le Batardians? How you doing? Welcome to the Fan Le Batard Show podcast, the fastest growing Dan Le Batard Show fan YouTube channel. It's me, Nathan, riding solo again, folks. But we do have an interview for you, so stay tuned. We are interviewing John Reed, senior video producer, head of video for Meadowlark. So very excited. Going to talk to him about the new studio, talk to him about the Clevelander, and talk to him about his role and some of the things he hopes the Le Batard Show starts to do in the future. I think you'll be very excited to hear some of the things and little hints that he dropped in our interview. But first, Jimmy Butler. My God. Incredible. What is it? It's 7 after the half hour over here, where I am. And I'm speechless about Jimmy Butler and his performance. Honestly, for me, I tweeted after the game, he's a top 10 player of all time. It's not hyperbole, although that is hyperbole. I'd say he's got to be considered, though, as one of the top players of his generation after what he's done. And I have no qualms with that. Like when I think back over the last 10 years of incredible performances, like Jimmy Butler's performance in the finals and in this round here, like they just really stand out as incredible performances that it's hard to think of players that have topped that. And I mean, yeah, it obviously hasn't led to a ring, but I mean, his ability to do what he's done in the playoffs has just been incredible. And personally, I'm so excited for Heat Knicks. As a fan of the show, it's exciting because it provides great content for us for almost all throughout the whole entire playoffs, right? We're guaranteed to have a show that's very engaged in the playoffs. And with Heat Knicks, one of those teams is going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. So you'll have a lot of people invested in the finals. And if they end up making it to the finals, I mean, personally, I'm rooting for Jimmy Butler to finally take it all the way. It's going to be hard, but hey, they've already beaten the Bucks. I mean, how much farther could they go? So I just wanted to share those thoughts because everybody's sharing their thoughts about Jimmy Butler. There's my 2 cents. So let's get to that interview with John Reed then, shall we? All right, folks, we are here with John Reed. He is the senior producer for video, the head of video for the Le Batard Show. I'm very excited to talk to you because there's a lot that's been going on with the show in general, and I think probably no more so than the video department with the new move to the studio. So I guess could you tell me a little bit, what's your role with the show?
So basically overseeing everything that's visual. Right now, as we just moved into the new studio, man, the thing is more of like if you look at the new show, you look at the new studio, they've been in a container for so many years. And so now we're trying to step up our game when we launch with the DraftKings network. And so it's basically overseeing everybody on the video team, original content is going to be a big push for me, at least, to basically trying to get these guys to do things outside of the show. And we want to try to bring the audience exclusivities, whether we're at the Super Bowl or the NBA All-Star. You'll notice we did like for me, we shot a music video. I don't know if you saw.
I did. I've got a whole section of questions
list
on the music video,
Yeah.
and just even
Yeah.
what you're saying, doing more things out of the show. I think of course, the now famous Tony water bottle challenge.
Yeah.
So there's some content that was outside of the show there too. So, I've really been enjoying that. I mean, I'm one of those fans that I'll find a way to consume whatever content you guys are putting out and enjoy it. Um, in terms of what you do with the show, what do you enjoy doing the most?
Basically just creating content. I mean, it's for me, I'm 25 years into this business. Like, I started off on the music business side of it, so I've been blessed. I think if you go back, like a lot of the footage when I started off, my first interview I had a music video show and I interviewed Outkast, right? So I have this video on my YouTube. I actually sold the rights to this documentary. It's on Amazon, but Outkast was Outkast, Andre 3000, Big Boy. And when I was in college, I started this music video show, and then it kind of snowballed. I got it on in like Chicago, Detroit. Then I ended up moving to New York. And when I moved to New York, that's when I kind of met a lot of the people that in Hollywood, just behind the scenes, iHeart. So I've had a chance to work at some cool opportunities, some cool companies along the way, along my journey. But sports has always kind of been my big forte. I was just locally here in Miami, like a sports anchor, but not really consider myself a sports guy. But just for me, man, it's just bringing new ideas and new opportunities and trying to, that they shot the music video, or they recorded that musical a year ago. And when the first week on the job, I pulled Mike Ryan and Dan to the side and like, we have to shoot a music video to this song, Nothing Stops Football. And they looked at me like I was crazy because I mean, as a new guy, this ignorance is a bliss. But for me, they have so much great material. Like I was going back into the archives and, things that bits they've done over the years. Like we hired a guy, basically he sits there all day to pull old shit that we can kind of go in and see what, kind of repurpose or whatever. And so I'm always trying to look for new ways to bring a lot of the old things that they've done back in the day that fans love versus the new stuff. You'll see us doing like the water bottle challenge for TikTok. And I'm saying, so I got a great team. I don't know if have you seen Taylor yet?
I know of Taylor. We haven't had him on the show yet, but we've talked to Lewis. I've messaged with Cynthia, getting her on the show. So, I mean, I'm one of the fans who I'm the guy who goes to Metalark's LinkedIn page and checks for when you guys update employees, and then I try to find you guys to connect to get you guys on the show, because I just love to learn more about what's happening with the Le Batard show. So,
nah, man, you're a smart brother. I appreciate just the invite. Just people, man, watching the show. And if it wasn't for individuals like yourself, man, we're talking to ourselves. There's no audience. For me as a producer, it's important to to reach out and connect to individuals like yourself, to even get feedback. So you may reach out to you and say, hey, what do you think about such and such? What do you think about the show today? Or just getting people that are definitely fans. Like your input is very important to someone like myself, who's always looking to dot the I's, cross the T's, and try to make the show better. So that's my ego.
So let's talk about that music video, because I really enjoyed it. So that was your idea.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's one of those. Well, I ain't gonna say it's one of those things it's the low hanging. When I get there, it's a vision. Like sometimes it takes someone to have a spark or an idea or vision, and now you got Dan and Stu in the Lambo. I'm a when it comes to like when I hear music video, or I just being on. I don't know if you ever been to the Cleveland or on South in general. I knew we were leaving the Clevelander. And I knew it was just one of those in my mind. I think I woke up like 3 a.m. Like I must have played the song at least 100 times. So I already had the visual in my head. And then one day I woke up and was like, you know what? I need a Lamborghini. That's the only way I'm gonna be able to get. If I could get a Lambo, I'm gonna talk Stu Gotts into getting in this video, because it was just gonna be Dan, and I was gonna do a green screen in the studio. And I just took it to the next level. Like once I got Dan involved. And once I got Dan locked, I got Stu involved. And once I got Stu involved, I got the both of them to kind of like, it was kind of like getting the two to come together. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll give you this. It was challenging to get the both of them two to get into the Lambo. I tell you that. So that was even though it may seem like a easy ask, it was when you're the new guy, man, they kind of did this, I think, and that's just developing a relationship with these guys and having respect, and I told Stu, I'm like, listen, man, if I ask you to do something, it's going to be epic. It's going to be you getting in the Lambo. It's going to be, so I got a lot of other ideas. Like there's so many, I can't give out everything, but everything that we do, man, I'm trying to take it to the next level. Whether we shoot a movie,
Yeah.
now we shoot a
Ooh.
music video, now we get to, so you're gonna always see me. I'll give you hints. We always see me trying to like step
Mhm.
it up. You'll be like, okay. Now I see what they're doing. Now it's not just about the podcast. We're just pushing the envelope when it comes to new media, whatever it is. We just
Mhm.
want to be funny and entertaining. That's just the goal.
Yeah. When it comes to the music video, who was the easiest to give direction to, and who was the most challenging to give direction to?
I would say Dan is the easiest because Dan. Here's the deal with the music video. I did not prep the guys right. I kind of threw Dan and Stu in the Lambo and said, "Here's the song, lip sync," and it was kind of like me assuming that they already would know the words or just already would already just
Yeah.
grab. I had already listened to the song 200 times prior, so I probably knew the song better than Dan and Stu. But it was just like, hey, no warm up, get in the car, Lambo, and just drive. And so that was probably the most challenging, is to getting those two. And we probably did. It probably took us an hour on South Beach to shoot that, just driving in loops around South Beach just to try to get that one action shot. And I had the drone going as well. So it was a good shoot, but it was one of
Mhm.
those. I'm used to shooting renegade style where you just shoot whatever you can as fast as you can. And I got some good stuff, especially from Stu. Even at the end, like the outtakes, the things that didn't make it, like they put in their best effort, especially
Yeah.
Stu, to try to make it authentic, make it funny, and make it epic. And I think they pulled it off. And we got it out on time.
Mhm.
And I think the fans appreciate. Like, if you look at the comments, our fans are harsh, and we got a lot of love from that video. I mean, the comments,
Yeah.
they speak for themselves, and so I think the fans, at least, they got a little bit out of enjoyment out of it to see Dan and Stu. They've never seen them in that element before. To cruising down the street in
Mhm.
a Lambo, singing a song to a musical. So it's just funny, if you really think about the whole thing. It's ridiculous. It's right. It's right up our alley, right up our brand.
Was there someone who was more than others being like, "Hey John, can I get on camera and do this?" Who was the most about getting on camera for that?
Um, Not, we don't really have a lot of. You mean a lot of look at me, Louis?
Yeah,
That's
any look at me Louis for
nah,
that,
not
or
really, man. We did okay. So the biggest star was Stunt Dan. How could
I
see? I don't
know exactly.
mix it. See, and Danny, he's not gonna. I don't know, man. I think we had to make or ask Danny to kind of get into character, and he. Now, Stunt Dan got us busted by the cops because Stunt Dan was rolling around in the street on Ocean Boulevard, and when you drive past it, you see random guys just out with a orange Lambo rolling out in the street. You're gonna start coming over. Hey, where's your film permit? Where's your this? Where's your now you're attracting attention. So after Stunt Dan, I think Stunt Dan caused the most controversy because of all the real stunts that we had to do. And I think it caused a little bit more. Everybody on Ocean Drive was watching us, and it just caused a little bit more attention. And the police were there, by the way. They just didn't say anything. But once we started rolling
Mhm.
out in that street, we had to wrap it up.
Yeah. So you guys are in the new studio now at the Elser, and I'm just curious, what excites you the most about the new studio?
Oh man, smell. You know that new car smell?
Yes.
Oh man, I love it. I mean, I'm really I look at myself as an engineer by trade, man, because I built studios. I have a radio background, but and also worked at the New World Symphony as an engineer. So I look at myself as a video engineer, even though I didn't have anything to do with building a new studio. We had all these people, Mike Jones, Bob the engineer. I'm sure
Mhm.
you've probably heard his name over the years, but
Yep.
Bob the engineer came in. He's retired now, but Bob the engineer, this was like his big last hurrah, his big project. And I've never seen anyone build this. I started maybe 5 months ago, and they got the thing done. Like, they kicked ass, and it's so state of the art. Like, I'm still finding myself. I haven't gotten a chance to soak it in yet. Like, I'm just there. I don't even know how everything works. I don't know how the blinds. There's so many things that I'm excited to learn about as the days go on. And we're all still trying to work out the bugs too, so we can kind of crank it up production wise. We're making a lot of small mistakes here and there, but it's just necessary. when you're moving into a new studio and you're testing out technology. I think we were only out like 1 week. If you think about it, if you go back, we took like a week off, if that,
Yeah.
but we still had content that we prepared the audience for. So if you think about it, we really never took any major days off on our transition to the new studio. We just went right to work.
Mm-hmm. Are there new things that this studio allows you to do that you couldn't do in the Clevelander?
Just the whole video thing, man. You notice that we're showing a lot more video on the show, a lot more. If you watch the YouTube live, the show is these guys are old school radio, just like myself, you know. So everything was all audio. Even if you listen to Dan or whoever, like these guys, the focus was never more of a visual. Now we're stepping it up, you know. When I told you about the DraftKings network, and so we're focusing on, if we show video, it's B-roll, and you notice if we're talking Miami Heat, you know, we're showing a lot of the highlights that are going on. So whatever they're talking about, I got my guys. Lewis is in the control room, so he's a very important part of the show. Danny and Lewis are kind of like on the front lines now at the new studio, on the studio side of it, because we kind of shifted from where we were to more of a network overnight. So we went from these podcaster guys who were kind of doing the show from local hour, Big Suey, hour 1, hour 2, kind of just doing it how we wanted to. Now we're a little bit more structured. I can tell you that. You know, we meet in the morning, as you guys probably are. I see a lot of you guys finding out a lot of these. I don't know how you guys do it, but you guys
we have our ways.
Yeah, like for some reason I read about a morning meeting, but we do have our morning prep meetings or whatever, and those are fun. But everybody's getting used to that. I mean, I've done them for years with a lot of the talent that I've worked with over the years. But when you meet in the morning and do show prep, it just makes the show better. It just makes us it allows you to think. So you know, when you're on that subject, you can kind of chime in and get your jokes in and get out. And I love that as a producer.
Yeah, I mean, I think if from a fan perspective, what I see is the Le Batard show has always been podcast first, and hey, there's video when they're at the Clevelander. And now the sense that I get being in this new studio is it feels more of 50-50. This new studio is geared not just to provide a visual component, but to make the visual component part of the forefront. You have the TV screens in the background. Like what that enables you to do is you guys can basically have different sets, right? There's talk of Amin's doing a show. Pablo's mentioned it, right? Now, when those guys, or even for Mystery Crate, they talked about it. When there's a Mystery Crate, there's now a different visual feel to the show. It's not just here's Mystery Crate inside of the Dan Le Batard show. There's more shifting and changing that can happen. So, I mean, it's really adding to the content. And then, like you said, you guys started doing this at the Clevelander. You're doing it even more now, showing video content. I think what I enjoyed the most is how it felt like classic show, you guys breaking down the Russell Westbrook, almost getting into a fan. And what does the show do? They talk about how the kid is eating food on the plate. And if you're watching on the YouTube, you could visually see that bit, which really just added to the experience. Like I cracked up watching that on YouTube. So yeah, I think the studio it looks like it's really allowing you guys to do so much more from a video perspective.
Oh, absolutely, man. That if you look at Dan, behind Dan is just this huge LED wall. It's probably 12 feet wide, 10 feet high. I don't, it just takes up an entire wall, and we can program any piece of video content. If you notice, we'll show a lot of wherever the Miami Heat play, they change the name, every other years. I don't even want to make the mistake now of trying to pronounce the new name of the arena. But we kind of show a little bit of Biscayne, but you'll notice we'll start to ramp up and show more areas in Miami. We'll try to, it's just, we want to try to keep people entertained when we go to break, so we're not losing a big audience. So we'll try to show you we'll show you things behind the scenes. You'll notice what the, where we all kind of sit at during the show, where all of the people that are on my team and along with Hildy and everybody on our production side, we're just kind of like one big family over there. But the studio is just amazing, man. Like everybody's pretty much been working so hard at this thing over the last few months, and to see it come to fruition right now. And we're just living in it. Everybody's kind of like still surprised. And I ain't gonna say in shock, but it's just like, wow, we're just all soaking it in and trying to crank it up to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. I love when you guys are doing it live and you go to a break. Like, whose idea was it to just show footage of the studio?
I mean, it's just we have a director too. This guy Jason.
Uh-huh.
We have a new director, but this guy he's on. He comes from ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so he came to me, hey, we need shots of the exterior of the where we're at the Elser. We need shots of Biscayne. He gave me a long list of shots that he wanted to start, implement. So you'll start to see like a lot of his wish list to come true, because for me it just makes the product better. We used to put up the little sign, hey, it will be right back, and it'll be a graphic or whatever. And people will stick around for pretty much. But if you show video and visual and behind the scenes content, it just keeps people, it retains people faster, at least on YouTube. But we still do well on the audio side of it. I think our audience, they're still a little bit more old school in a sense, where they're still downloading the podcast. That's why we're at the top of the charts,
Mm-hmm.
But it's my job. I think it's like, I think I heard you say it's 50-50, but I want the numbers. If I can get the numbers 50-50, we're unstoppable. There's no other podcast or sports content network will be able to touch us once we start to be able to match the video level with our downloads on the audio side. We'll be unbelievable.
Who's been to the gym the most?
Ah, man, that's a great question. What I've noticed, and I saw Mike Ryan, I want to say between Mike Ryan, Taylor, and Tony. And yeah, so between those three, and then, maybe Fuentes. I did see Fuentes working out by himself. I got to give Mike Fuentes credit. Mike's the first one I've seen. Now, but I've only seen the other guys on video. But Mike, I actually physically saw him working out by himself at the gym. And I think from what Dan said the next day, he came in shortly after him. So, but I didn't see it. I only saw.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna start. I keep saying I'm gonna start working out, but I just keep. I don't know, man. I just keep enjoying the studio so much. I never make it upstairs.
Yeah. Who's checked the most excuses?
Let's see here. Well, they keep saying that Tony is checking the most excuses, but I'm a 10-day Tony supporter. So anything Tony, I'm getting Tony ready. I got a lot of great ideas with Tony, man. I'm trying to get Tony ready to try out, so he could like try out for the G League or something like that, Like I want to know.
Even for video, like Tony's probably one of the people who on the show has done the most content for the channel outside of it, with GG's, Smart Football People, the MMA Hangouts. So I mean, Tony's done
a
ton of content.
Yeah, man. Tony's he's on the Twitch. You're right. You just shouted it out. That's another goal. And I got Thomas, one of my social media guys. He's a very smart guy. He's fired up our Twitch, so we're a Twitch partner now. Man, that Twitch channel is growing. That's what I want to try to get more people on. I wish more of our fans were on Twitch, because that's where it's really, if you're having fun on YouTube on the comments or whatever, you'll have even more of a great time on Twitch. So I'm trying to grow that audience, though, for everybody that's a gamer out there. Even some of the guys, I wish that I could implement like fans and have them play some of my guys on the gaming side. That's actually my goal, to try to merge some of the guys that are on our show with fans, and then like make a real show out of it and put it on Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a lot of fun. So take me back to that final day at the Clevelander. What was the mood like?
It really wasn't I would say memorable. It was memorable because everybody at this point, those guys aren't really like the sentimental type of guys. And so even me, I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, I think I wrote the guys a note and said, hey, maybe we should go live during our last day at the Clevelander. but I mean, nobody, we never went live, but it was just to the point where I think we were so excited and ready to go, ready for new opportunity. But I caught Dan. The most memorable moment was Dan cleaning out his locker at the
Mm-hmm.
Clevelander. He had if you behind Dan, you probably can't see it on camera, but he has a locker. He has a locker. It was covered up with all of the. It had a sign covering it, but there was a locker like right
Uh-huh.
behind where he sits. And he had a whole bunch of stuff in there, and he was just cleaning it out. And
Lotion, probably.
yeah, probably. It probably was a little bit of all this like personal items or whatever. I didn't see what he took out of it, but it was just a significant moment. Like, all right, it's time to clean this place out. And once he got his stuff, everybody was pretty much turning in their key cards, man. So we were pretty
Mm-hmm.
much excited about the new studio and trying to, start a new chapter. And that's pretty much what we did. We always remember the Clevelander. It was great times over there for those guys.
Who do you think took the most studio tiles?
When I was in there, everybody kind of shared them. I think I saw 10-Day Tony get he got what everybody kind of got what they wanted, like their favorite. We had a lot of them in there, man. Everybody wanted the Stu Gotts, Greg Cody stuff. All the classic stuff was
Yeah.
gone. Like the new guy like myself, I couldn't. They had already everything that I wanted, man. They deserved it because they were there. So I just
Did
kind
you
of
get anything?
I think I might have took like something of Greg Cody. I think it was what did I take? All right, here I'll show you what I took.
All right, let's see.
Let's see. Now, this is what I took. Really, it's just a
Nice.
long sign, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a long sign, white on the back. But you know,
Mm-hmm.
man, that's
Classic.
this is all I stole from the Clevelander. And I'll probably end up using it at like an event. Like it'll probably, I don't know. I'll probably end up
It'll
return.
probably, yeah, it'll probably get stolen from you at a Moss Miami, is what I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
guess.
Thinking like I'll return it and let someone else steal it. So, but if it's here in my garage, it's useless. So I think I'm just gonna like take it back to the studio. Maybe it'll go behind my desk at work.
Who do you think took advantage the most of the free spread and drink on the last day?
Oh, the free spread and drink. Huh. Everybody, man. I think I'm me. I'm one of those dude. I picked up pounds, man. Like, they do a great job. Our production staff, Hildy and Kristen, Carmen, all these lovely ladies at Meadow Lark. Man, they keep us spoiled. We're spoiled. These lunch spreads.
Hmm.
Now we got this. I don't know if you saw it. But have you seen our water machine? I know this is silly, but we
I
have a water.
have, yes.
We're a healthy. Not only are we a creative bunch, but now we're doing water challenges. But that came about because we have a water, like a flavored
Hmm.
water machine. I know it's ridiculous. It may be diva-esque, but it's one of those. That's probably one of the best features of the studio. You can get coconut flavored, banana, watermelon, whatever it is, grape. They have like there's about 12 different flavors, so you can merge them together. And I think the office kind of fights over there's a little small line to see, but we are drinking more water. That's a inside tidbit that we moved
Hmm.
from the blender. We went from a lot of soda to water, more water now.
Well, that should be good for Billy Gill's kidney stones then.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. I think that he would have never had kidney stones if we would have had this water machine. That's more of like a secret. It's for me. I drink a lot of Sprite. See, I even have a Sprite here on
Hmm.
standby. But now you see me drinking water. So we
I'm
try
a
to.
I'm a water and coffee guy.
Yeah, man. See, I started drinking coffee at the office. That's another thing, man. It's like I try not to drink so much, I never was a coffee guy, but we have this nice coffee. When you have a nice coffee maker, you have to use it, right? This
Absolutely.
if you have a nice coffee maker, it's disrespectful, even if you don't drink coffee as much. But I kind of find myself going over there, like, damn, why am I? And then I'll drink water. I find myself drinking more water afterwards. So Anyway, I'm always at the restroom is basically what I'm trying to say. Between the
I mean, as a teacher, I feel I do have to time out when I choose to drink my morning coffee because I can't just abandon a classroom full of kids. I got to time out my restroom breaks with my recesses. So
Oh
I,
wait,
I,
so this is interesting. What grade teacher are you? See, I'm doing a reverse interview. I'm so used to interviewing. What do you
hitting
teach?
I teach fourth grade.
Oh, bless you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
How is it teaching fourth graders? I think I have a sixth grader and a first grader. How is that, man? How is it teaching the kids
You know,
that age?
I love teaching fourth grade. It's been my favorite grade to teach. I spent like a year subbing and kind of used that year to figure out like what I knew I was always going to be elementary, and I used that year to figure out what grade levels do I like teaching. And I found like third and fourth grade is kind of the sweet spot because they're getting older. You're able to do like more higher level thinking things with them that are fun, but they're still young enough where like a good stern look, they'll be like, oh, okay, okay, right.
Yeah.
We'll straighten them out. So I really love teaching fourth grade, and this year I have a fantastic class that's been one of the best that I've had in my years teaching. So I've really enjoyed this year.
No, man, I asked that question because yeah, teachers I've always played a like a big role in my life. Even like my best teacher was my third grade teacher. So you're right. It's always that sweet spot between
Mm-hmm.
third, fourth, and I would say fifth too. But fifth
Yeah.
graders now the fifth graders now are probably bigger than me. But and like that's that sweet age where they're still enough, they're innocent enough not to curse you out. By the time they get to sixth grade, they're already cursing
Oh
your ass.
yeah.
They're already flipping you the bird. So it's interesting to when I pick up my 12-year-old, how many fights did I break up? And you can
Mm,
just hear the chitter chatter in the background, like,
yeah.
go home, and you can hear whose dad is that? It's like they don't have any respect, man, for adults unless unless you're stern with them, then they'll kind of like, all right, this guy's we're not gonna mess with this guy. Like he knows a little bit more than me. So let me shut up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to thank you, John, so much for joining us. I really enjoyed talking to you and learning more about the show. And is there anything that you want to just tell fans before you head out?
Oh man, like I appreciate you first of all in inviting me on the show and getting the chance to know you, man, and who you are. Let's keep in touch.
Absolutely.
I appreciate your openness and sharing me a little bit about your teaching experiences. And if you ever say anything on the show, man, that you like or dislike, like reach out to me, man, because I'm actually interested to see what individuals like yourself think about the new changes that we make, because we're trying to attract the new audience. We already know we have a huge fan base, and so now we're trying to get new people to kind of come on the bandwagon and subscribe and like and share and download all the podcasts. And hopefully that some of the fans appreciate all the hard work that everybody over there at Metal Lark is doing, all my coworkers.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, man, thank you. Peace.
Later.
All right.